welcome to today's book talk, which is going to be about young adult book series. Since there are so many to choose from, I thought I would pick probably my top four, or the four I've read most recently. Is probably more accurate. The Tiffany Aching series by Terry Pratchett is one we're going to talk about. The Divergent series by Veronica Roth. Delirium series by Lauren Oliver, and the Uglies series by Scott Westerfield. Some of these you may have heard, and some of these you might not have. The Tiffany Aching series is probably the one you haven't heard about. But if you have, kudos. Definitely kudos. Terry Pratchett writes this one, and it's about this young girl growing up on the Chalk, which is similar to, like, the Cliffs of Dover in England, but it's different because Terry Pratchett's books are set in Discworld. Most of his books are written there. And it's 4 books long, the series is. It goes The Wee Free Men, A Hatful of Sky, Wintersmith, and then I Shall Wear Midnight. And that one is, I think it's Midnight, I Shall Wear Midnight. It just came out, so I haven't read it yet, but it's definitely on my list. But this young girl, Tiffany Aching, is a witch in a land where they don't normally get witches, and they're kind of looked at suspiciously. But not like a Harry Potter kind of witch, but more like a I'm a midwife kind of witch. She's like a medicine woman. Anyway, but she runs around with these little blue men called the Wee Free Men, and they all have these crazy Scottish accents, and they go around stealing things and beating things up, even though they're only like this high. They're not very big. But it's great. It's funny. It's insightful. All the satire in it is definitely worth checking out. The second series is the Divergent series by Veronica Roth, and I've only read the first book of this one, but I really liked it, actually. It's kind of got like a Hunger Games feel, which is cool. I think it's a good thing. But I don't know, she's more aware of her surroundings than Katniss was. And anyway, so it's about this girl, and you have all these different factions that you are, and each faction chooses a set of qualities that they want to be, like abnegation. They're selfless. The dauntless are brave. The erudite are smart, and the candor are honest. And when you turn, I think it's 16, you get to choose. And then you become an initiate, and then you become a member. And she goes from abnegation to dauntless. But she's divergent. So she could be one of 3 of these things. And so just kind of her becoming dauntless and figuring out who she is, because she's divergent, so she shouldn't exist. People are out to kill her, but she does, and she's trying to keep it hidden, and she's trying to be dauntless, but she's selfless. And is being selfless the same as being brave? It's one of the questions this book asks. And so it's interesting, and I like it. Again, a strong female heroine who falls in love with a boy in this book. But the romance is understated, and so it's it's a wild ride, and it deals with hazing and a whole bunch of other issues. And then the third book series is the Delirium series by Lauren Oliver. And in this book, love is a disease and it can be cured, which is an interesting idea if you think about it, because they think love makes people go crazy and do crazy things and hurt other people as well as themselves. And so there's this young woman, Lena, and she is just about to have the operation. Like, she's going in for evaluations and everything. But it all kind of gets botched because she doesn't realize it, but she does love. She just doesn't think about it. And then there's this boy that comes along named Alex, because and they fall in love. And he breaks her out of Portland, and they to go live in the wilds, which is where the invalids live. The uncured. Anyway, but that's an interesting series. It's 3 books long. The books are Delirium, Pandemonium, and Requiem. And Requiem just came out yesterday, so I haven't got my hands on a copy of that one yet, but definitely on my list of things to do. And then the 4th series, which is The Uglies by Scott Westerfield, is interesting as well. Very similar plotline to Delirium, where we have a young girl who's about to go in and have her surgery to become beautiful. Because in this book, being ugly, being different, having faces like ours, makes us hate each other and fight each other because we all want to be beautiful. But we're not all beautiful. And so we must go under a surgery where they scrape all your skin off and they replace your bones and they saw your bones down so you're the right height, or they add extensions in if you're too short, so that you are perfect. But there are consequences to this surgery where suddenly you become kind of brainless. You're just stupid and vapid, and all you care about is the next party. And she really wants this, but then she meets this girl named Shay. And they go on this wild adventure to the smoke, where she falls in love with this boy who makes her feel beautiful for who she is, for the stuff on the inside, which is what counts. So it's about accepting yourself and your body, which I think is also an important message. But as for you boys out there, I would recommend Divergent and Tiffany Aching, but I am on the lookout for a series for boys without, like, that centers on boys, because I feel like most of the series are focused on females. And so, I mean, like, besides Maximus Ride and that sort of thing. So I'm on the lookout, and as soon as I find one, I will be back and reporting it to you. Anyway, so that's all I've got for today. But if you pick up a series, you're in for quite a wild ride and quite a lot of reading. But I think you'll enjoy it. It's worth figuring it out and seeing them evolve book to book. Anyway, until next time.